Hello, fellow Neo players. Okay, so a few weeks back, I uploaded an build video to this build. Wow, I can't talk. Anyway, um, someone in my comments was telling me how I wasn't at the end game because at the end of the video I had shown like a display of the build, and I was doing some random main mission in the new difficulty, which is Dream of the Neo. Which is, I guess, after completing the Underworld, it's fairly pretty easy. So, that guy was telling me how you're not exactly at endgame unless, you show off your build in the depths of the Underworld, which I recorded a few days ago. For you guys, I recorded 2 clips, actually. But before I move on to that, I did make some changes to this build that I would like to show you guys. See, I did temper some things differently. I don't know what exactly, but I'll compare it. One thing, okay, so for my shoes, right? Last time I didn't have this Rumbling Earth inheritable. So the other day I was going through the storehouse and I actually discovered that I had one just sitting in there, so I managed to just temper that on there, which was nice. So the main differences between now and the build video I made is so far this inheritable and some things I tempered onto these shoes. This Yatamir, well, actually both of my accessories, they're different now. They have higher defense. And also, well, you could see that, I only put this on for the set bonuses reduced, as well as the... Actually, no, that's the main reason why. And then I just tempered paralysis accumulation and melee versus paralyzed, because Now, you can see here that last time I actually had Akala's Grace. Instead, now I actually have Takumi Nakata's Grace, because three pieces of Akala's Grace would give you plus 100 defense, and well, on my stats, I have like 13k defense, so literally having 100k defense isn't going to do anything for me. So, I mean, 100 plus 100 extra defense. So I decided to go with Takumi Nakata's Grace for the minus 5% damage taken. That way we could tank even more than we were before, because we were already tanky, but why not? So, and I managed to get it on an accessory of -1. So I think now we take about minus 15% damage in total, which is great. Now this Yatamir, I wasn't exactly looking for it, but I'm glad I got it, because one of the magic skills I previously used was the Gust Talisman, because it was pretty handy and I like to deflect projectiles. So now that I have the Yatamir, I could take that off and replace it with take off the Gust Talisman and replace it with another magic item. And luckily I got on Susanoo on top of that, so that's pretty great. Also, last time I believe I had a Scroll of the Wise. I didn't have a Scroll of the Damned yet. And so, really the main focus here is ultimate stamina, because, we don't have a lot of ki, so we want to take less ki damage, because we're pretty heavy, we're going to get winded a lot. As well as ultimate constitution, just for that, constantly healing immortal effect, I guess. Honestly, you could go with anything else if you want. I mean, counter yokai tactics, I guess that's pretty good. More damage, more ki damage. I don't really care, to be honest. But, I mean, you could do whatever. Now, Path of the Demon, what that does is it increases how long your status enhancements will be. So, or the duration, I mean. So that's going to be pretty nice. So that way our magic will last even longer than before. Yeah, I mean, there is such thing as Path of the Ruthless, which increases your damage, but you actually take more damage as well. And honestly, it's not really worth it. Even though we're a tank, it just doesn't seem very helpful, so I decided to go with Path of the Demon. Now, magic. As I said, I did get rid of Gust Talisman. Actually, let me show it here. The Shrine. So I did get rid of Gust Talisman. And, okay, last time these, I only had I had 3 of each of these, but I decided to push it down to 2 because they last pretty long. So why not just drop it to 2? Don't really need 3, to be honest. I decided to use the steel talisman again. Even though we're a tank, it can't hurt to tank even more, especially with the steel talisman. And since I was doing the Underworld, I figured why not, right? Resistance talisman. You'll see why I equipped this, but honestly, this is optional because when it comes to poison, if we're at full health, we're gonna be constantly out healing poison because of ultimate constitution and rejuvenation. And there's not that many enemies that can paralyze you, apart from giant toad, the snake, the umbrella. So, oh, and the red kappa, but honestly, you could replace this resistance talisman with anything. But last time I had 3 of these, the fire, water, and lightning, 3 of each, and I had the gust talisman. So basically the main difference here is that I dropped each of these to 2, and I decided to stock up on steel. Resistance, I could take that off, honestly. I don't really need it. I think the only other difference here, so previously I said I was in the Toto clan, right? And what that does is it gives you health based off of your stamina, as well as it also gives you a damage boost based off of your equipment weight. And since we're pretty heavy, well, we would get about a 7-8% damage buff, I think, based on how heavy our armor is. Honestly, after thinking, I decided it wasn't really worth it. So I decided to join the Honda clan. Not because of the active skill damage. I mean, yeah, that makes Romulan Earth stronger, but because damage taken halved, unscathed. So because of that, when we're at full health, we're gonna take like 80% less damage. That's crazy. Thing is, we're constantly healing thanks to, you know, rejuvenation and ultimate constitution. So we're gonna be at full health pretty often. And we're already tanking a lot, so because we're at full health in the Honda clan, we're going to be tanking even more. So it's going to be even harder to kill us. So, yeah, I left the Toto clan for the Honda clan. I think that's pretty much everything I changed about this build. I didn't really change my armor. Well, you know, I changed the grace, but that's about it. So, I didn't change my stats or anything. Literally just, well, I basically already told you guys everything I changed. Okay, so I almost forgot, last time in the build video, my secondary guardian spirit was the Ho-Oh, and I had said I had chosen it for the damage taken versus Yokai minus 3%, but I decided to change my secondary guardian spirit to the, I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing that. But yeah, you take 7.5 damage, or minus 7.5 damage while attacking. So, and we attack pretty slow, so I guess we'll be tanking more. But also, what's nice about it is that it's a brute guardian spirit. And personally, I like using the brute guardian spirit. You don't have to do this, but this is something I like to do when the brute is my secondary. Okay, so at this point in time, this was when I was farming my scroll, trying to get ultimate constitution on there, right? So you can see my Amrita gauge is filled, or full, right? And it's the Itokiri guardian spirit at the moment, which is the Pharaoh Yokai Shift. So yeah, you can see right there, I switched guardian spirits. I switched to my secondary. Charges up. I used rage right before I went into Yokai Shift, just so I could still get that damage buff. And afterwards, I do the brute counter, which is Fang Break. And then I counter it into the new triangle, which is, I think it's called Brutal Combustion. I don't know, it's just something fun I like to play around with, but you don't really have to do this. But yeah, that's all the differences in this build compared to the other video. And now I'll be moving on to the deaths. Okay, so you guys can see that I'm in the deaths at the moment. This is on +9 penance, because I wanted to show off this build in the highest difficulty. Deaths of the Underworld. This is floor 1. At the time of this recording, I wanted to just show off, I guess, 1 floor, because I didn't feel like doing all 5. Personally, I like to go for all of the Kodamas. I don't know, it just makes more sense to me. You get more lapis lazuli, more gear, more amrita, all that stuff. Beautiful damage, so. Oh yeah. So I was preparing for the Kazuna Fox, because usually they like to shoot all sorts of elements at you. Ignore that first shot. Yeah. I didn't have any sacred bullets at the time, I think. Oh yeah, so I think this is before I got my... No, I had the Scroll of the Damned, but I didn't have Ultimate Constitution at the time, so... No, I had Ultimate Constitution, I didn't have Ultimate Stamina. So you can see here, right when I got hit, I took some key damage, and because of that, Roman Earth was super weak. That's why it's important to have Ultimate Stamina, so I'm actually glad that happened, and I didn't have the scroll at the time. Right there you could have seen that Roman Earth did basically no damage to either of them. But with Ultimate Stamina, I wouldn't have taken that key damage like that. Still could have crushed him easily. So yeah, we're just going through this like it's nothing. To be honest, you guys don't really see me use the Medusa powders all that often, but Yasha, she can be a pretty strong enemy, so I just wanted to prepare for her. That's why I have the water stop talisman as well, because of enemies like her that don't saturate us and make us weaker. Yeah, you can see that she poses no threat to us. That is the first Kodama collected. To be honest, I actually don't know if this is before or after I joined the Honda clan. But either way, you can see these enemies aren't doing that much to us. Actually, this might be before I joined the Honda clan, honestly. Otherwise, yeah, we didn't really take much damage so far, but we still wouldn't have taken much even with the Honda clan, so we would have tanked a lot more. Not sure why I was playing very timid with him. I don't know, Rokurokubi, he's a strong enemy, so He's someone I like to be careful with. But like I said, no trouble, no problem. Two Kodamas down, 2 to go. Had I keep post there, that would have done way more damage. Cause you know, when we keep post on high stance, we keep post heaven, that gives us a huge damage buff, so that's something I like to utilize a lot. Of course, I wanted to show off how well we do on a purple enemy as well. Even though he's human, but you can see purple enemies, they have a lot of health. They hit harder. Except with this guy, clearly he's not even getting the chance to hit us. If his back was turned to us, that would have done way more. Okay, well that settles it. You guys can see how easily we went through the deaths, so now to the Crucible. To be honest, not sure why I decided to ask Psycho for his help, but I did it anyway. I guess it's a habit. At this point in time, yeah, I was showing you guys that this is Death Floor 1. I didn't know who the boss was at the time. I think it's Mitatoshi, so I was just putting on everything just to be safe. But yeah, Death Floor 1 Crucible. +9 penance. Yeah, so on +9 penance, he's only doing 1,000 to us. I did paralyze him, but I was winded, so I couldn't, you know, do all that much to him at the moment. Cycle was kind of screwing me over, so at that time I was kind of regretting that I had hit travel together. Then I started to realize that Psycho is kind of useful because he gave me time to use my rage. Of course, I'm not paralyzed. I mean, I'm paralyzing him, but I'm not able to do the, you know, the typical paralysis Roman Nerf combo, especially with Psycho around. I think this is why I managed to pull it off. Do a whopping 70k. You can see Mida is literally no threat. +9 penance. In the depths of the Underworld. This build is pretty strong, as you can see. So I think at this point in time I started just goofing off, because why not? So I'm just using raids before I go Yokai Shift, just to mess around. Because at this point I start taking them seriously. This is before I changed my Guardian Spirit to the I don't even remember the name of it. you know, my secondary guardian spirit for the brute. So that's at the time was when I was using the feral. But you can see here, Mido is no threat. So I was thinking, wow, this is pretty easy. And human bosses are easy in general. So I was thinking, alright, you know what? Let's go deeper. Okay, so this was recorded on a different day, I think. I could be wrong. But you can see here I have some extra stuff which I got from the Kodama Bazaar. I normally don't use anything outside the kit I already have, which I've showed you guys in the previous video. However, in the previous video, someone had commented how they wanted to see me fight Giant Toad on +9 penance, I think. Well, he was purple. No, he said he was fighting a purple Giant Toad, and we all know how difficult Giant Toad could be. So I decided, you know what? Giant Toad is in the depths today. Let's fight him on Zone of Penance, +9, just to show off this build. So, now spoiler alert, I didn't get to paralyze him that much. To be honest, I forgot to utilize the Medusa powders, but you can see here I'm using the resistance talisman, because you know, Giant Toad is one of the few enemies I can paralyze, and at one point he screws me over with that, so he's literally the main reason why I would equip this talisman. I also have the Sloth Talisman from the Kodama Bazaar, as well as the, I think, Protection. Yeah, you can see, compared to Mitatoshi, Giant Toad is doing a lot. Right. I went into Yokai Shift because I didn't want the sticky bomb to hit me. You can see we basically got him at past half pretty quickly, +9 penance. Also, you can see I had 4 of the new Peppo meat. Yeah, and there's the paralysis right there. Main reason I equipped that one talisman. So yeah, we're destroying Giant Toad pretty well, but he throws the traps down, and this build is pretty slow. So, oh yeah, he activates my quick change. I forgot about that. I want to do some extra damage. I didn't want to. I was kind of impatient, but it sucks I didn't get to push him at that time, because I ended up getting winded right before I could deal some extra damage to him. I gotta admit, Kuroko, pretty useful in this fight, because he's distracting him while I'm powering up. Like I said, I normally wouldn't use all these buffs. I even go through the trouble of eating the new Peppo meat just for more damage. Because remember last video I said that would be like a last resort. And Giant Toad is a pretty strong enemy. But you can see we're destroying him though. +9 penance. Yeah, this is before I joined the Toto clan. No, I mean the Honda clan. So this is before all the changes I made. This was a few days ago. Okay, he hits me with the sticky bomb, so I end up healing. Powering up again. To be honest, I don't know why. Like, I'm looking at this footage right now. I don't know why I didn't utilize the Medusa powders as much. Like, I guess I completely forgot I could just paralyze a Rumbling Earth from to death. But yeah, you can see I'm doing a lot of damage. Giant Toad, he's practically dead at this point. Yeah, so you see he screws me up. He activates my quick change, right? So then this is where I start running off the heal, but then I get trapped in the paralysis. He activates my quick change, but I'm still paralyzed. Knocks me out. I'm just stuck in the quick change animation before I could even land. Bam, right there. But you could see he was really low. So yeah, if you look at his health right here, literally that's how low he was. Like, one Rumbling Earth for just maybe 2 or 3 swings would have killed him. But honestly, I'd say that's pretty good for a first try on +9 penance. Because, you know, Giant Toad is a pretty strong enemy. So yeah, you could see this build handles the deaths pretty well, as well as the Crucible. I did end up beating him the second time around, but as you guys saw, he screwed me over with that paralysis nonsense with the quick change and keeping me stuck in there. But yeah, this is a pretty good build. can handle the death, so thanks for watching.